God, as I'm driving down this road, I'm just reminded by your love and your mercy and grace, God. I'm reminded for every single time, God, that you've saved my life through your servants, God, through your authorities, God, through your watchmen on the wall, God, who are being used to impact people's lives in eternity, God, to help bring about repentance and change in people's life, God. Thank you for the chance to change, God. Thank you for what they do, God, day in and day out, God. Thank you for the tires on the road that they roll on, God. Thank you for their feet, God. Thank you for their eyes, God. Thank you for their ears. Thank you for their hands, God. Thank you for their wisdom and discernment, God. Thank you for their heart, God. Thank you for their passion, God, and their zeal and their knowledge, God. Thank you so much, God, for every single narcotics detective, every narcotics task force unit, God, every sergeant, every police chief, God, every confidential informant, God, everyone in surveillance, God, everyone who's just scoping someone's life, God, for the beautiful change that can happen, God, in the war against drugs, God. God, thank you for their patience, God, and their mercy and grace when dealing with people who are out of their minds and on drugs, God, and driving all over the country, God. God, thank you for every single place, God, that I've lived in and every person that I've mentioned, God. You know them, God, and I know them, God, and they know the things that they've endured and gone through, God, to battle addiction, God. God, thank you for their life, God. My beautiful brothers and sisters out there, God. I love them and I just respect them and I honor them, God. I lift them up to you, God. Surround them with a hedge of protection, God. Give them more power and clarity of mind, God. Give them more knowledge and wisdom, discernment, insight, God, discretion. God, thank you for their times of silence, God. Thank you for the unseen, God. I pray that they would even be more bold to confront those out there, God. You know, God, and they know where people are at and what people are doing, God. People think that we're just... Well, forgive us, God, for doing drugs and being so narcissistic and entitled, thinking that consequences don't apply somehow, God. That, I can go do this and get away with it, God. Jeopardizing people's children, jeopardizing people's lives on these roads, God, all throughout Texas, God. Every place I've lived, God. Every major city, God. Every Bryan College Station, God. To Waco, to Austin, God. To Weatherford, to Fort Worth, God, to Dallas, to Mineral Wells, to Weatherford, God, to Brownwood, God, in every little town in between, God. Thank you for who you have out there doing your will and doing your work, God. Your word says that there is no authority except that which you have established. Therefore, the established authorities are placed by God and for God. They're your children and your servants, agents of wrath, God, to bring punishment on the wrongdoer if necessary. But thank you for the swift judgment of that. But then again, thank you for Romans 2:4, that it is your goodness that leads people to repentance, God. That when people realize that they could have been just taken out by terror and impending doom at any single moment, God, any second, with the snap of a finger and with the dialing of a phone number, with the green light, God. We just think we're full blown and going with every green, like we got a green light as an addict, God, and we know that light turns yellow, God, and we know that it's turning stale yellow, and we know that eventually the next thing is it turns red, God, and that's when arrest happens. That's when stop happens, God. Thank you for that yellow light, God. Thank you for that warning, God. Thank you for using people to warn just everybody in society, God. It's a beautiful, powerful thing, God, what people are doing out there in the unseen, in the unknown, in the silence, God. I see them, God, and you see them. They know who they are, and they're yours, God. Surround them with the hedge of protection, God. Divine protection, God. And I just can't emphasize how much, God, I love them and respect them and bless them, God. In Jesus' mighty name, God.
In 2 miles, keep